Hey guys, today I'm gonna react to LetMeExplainStudios. Okay, number one, LetMeExplainStudios. If you're watching this, you're my favorite YouTuber. Your content is so good and fun to watch. And two, I don't mean to sound like one of those one YouTubers like, only 15% of people subscribe. But like, please like and subscribe this video. Like, seriously, out of the 1,000 people that have watched my YouTube channel, only 7 have subscribed. So please, do subscribe.
Oh, hello, my geeks and peeps, my explainers and entertainers.
By the way, I'm not going to use sarcasm like I did on my previous takes, because then it will sound rude.
Entertainers and my little lollies. Rebecca Parham here.
You have no idea what I'm talking about. Just ignore what I said.
So, did you know I was a daycare kid?
No.
Probably not, because I've never mentioned it before.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Makes sense, given that mom and dad were both working parents, and leaving one's infant at home alone is generally considered problematic.
I'm just imagining in my head like a 0-year-old baby being like, I'm gonna burn the whole house down and blame my sister because I'm a baby and I want her to get in trouble and be the spotlight. This is a great idea.
Now, I know it might be hard to believe, but I haven't always been the pinnacle of refinement and maturity that you see before you today. No. As a kid, I was a bit of a rascal.
Haven't we all been rascals when we were kids?
For example, the box story.
Ooh.
Now, at this daycare, we had a big playroom.
Play-Doh.
And in this playroom,
Looks like the on the top left. It looks like the octopus from Powerpuff Girls. Yes, I've watched that before.
Stuff and equipment was kept all the time. And one morning during playtime,
is no one gonna talk about the fact that that kid's literally buried under a pile of bricks?
I noticed someone had left a large box there, big enough for a child to hide behind.
Ooh, this is getting interesting.
Now, there's a concept that I call kid logic, and it's basically just a name for that randomness that kids possess.
Pizza.
Or the absurdity that is their reasoning sometimes.
What? I love pizza.
For example, when I saw that box, that's when my kid logic kicked in, and I said, I'm gonna hide behind that box for as long as possible and see what happens.
This great idea.
So when the adults weren't looking,
is no one gonna talk about the fact that that kid is buried under a pile of bricks? I know I said that before, but like, that guy's setting down a teddy bear or picking it up, depending on the way you look at it. But I'm looking at it as he's setting it down.
Slunk behind the box and crouched down, hiding myself entirely. I must have stayed there for half an hour before playtime ended, and they ushered all the kids away to a different room for a new activity. And funny enough, the adults were none the wiser I was gone. I beat the system.
I like that little thing where like they were like little kids have like a list. But I don't have a list. Obviously.
Now this is what gets me. It took an hour of me hiding before an adult came back to the room and visibly began looking around for something.
Oh my gosh. She better have kept a Game Boy back there. She would have been bored.
Couldn't imagine what it might be. Now, where did I leave that small child? Must be around here someplace. I peeked my head up over the edge of the box to watch, but that proved to be my undoing. I was spotted! I've been compromised!
This is my favorite part. It's funny.
I got in big trouble for that, of course. I was clearly not good at getting away with things when I was a kid, as you'll see in the next story.
You have 10 minutes to finish your research. You rush into searching on Google, then you find a title that sounds credible. You enter the page and...
Now, one time at this daycare, they brought in a whiteboard, and you were only allowed to draw on it with adult supervision. Okay, I won't draw on the board. Instead, I stole a green dry erase marker when no one was looking and proceeded to decorate my face. Hey, listen, I didn't break the rules. They specifically said don't draw on the board. They said nothing about my face. I put the marker back and walked away, but was promptly spotted by an adult. Becca, did you do this to yourself? No. Did somebody do this to you? Yes. Who did it? Well, sheesh, I hadn't thought I had that far. And I honestly didn't even think to blame another kid. Instead, that good old kid logic kicked in, and I came up with the most foolproof story that was sure to get my hide out of trouble.
I was minding my own business looking for something to play with, and then the Marcus came over and marked on my face.
That's a great excuse.
Nailed it.
I will never understand how that daycare worker kept a straight face. But off to timeout I went.
So, what are you in for? Disrupting the status quo? Whoa, I stuck gum up my nose.
Something I haven't mentioned yet is that my sister Rachel also went to this daycare. And because she's 2 years older than me, she got to be in the Big Kids program called the Superstars. And I was so jealous that I took to calling them the Stupid Stars.
Ooh, I could see where this is going.
Extra crispy on that burn there, little Becca. But one thing that will always be a significant memory to me is the day I discovered that the Superstars had a Nintendo.
Oh my gosh. This is my genuine reaction. I never thought she would animate this.
Better yet, they had Super Mario Brothers. And that, my little oodle-ollies, was the first time I ever saw a console video game. I thought I was looking at magic. And that became the
No, Batman.
only thing I ever wanted to do at playtime was go over to the Big Kid area and watch them play Super Mario Brothers. Don't you dare tell me that gamers aren't real entertainers. I was watching people play video games long before the Appliers.
I don't think Markiplier looks like that. Does he? Eh.
Insecticeyes and D-Pies of the world made it a thing.
Two of these people aren't even from America. One of them's from Ireland and one of them's from Sweden.
But when playtime was over, the daycare staff had to pry me away, kicking and screaming from that TV set. One day, however, I came up with a brilliant idea. When they pulled me away from the big kids corner and sat me down with the other little kids, I proceeded to scream and cry that I miss my big sister, and nothing was gonna console me except being allowed to be with her in the big kid area. I guess the adults didn't know what else to do, so they actually let me go back over.
Holy Crayola, that actually worked.
Crayola, that's funny.
Sure enough, I made a beeline for the Nintendo. Screw you, sis, I got video games to observe.
That's what I do every day. Except most of the time I play them. But most of the time I watch them.
It didn't take long for an adult to catch on, and I was eventually pulled away again.
That's by the way, my favorite color is green, and specifically lime green. But that purple color does look pretty cool, though.
When I tried the same shtick, they gently said,
Becca, you say you miss your sister, but every time you go over there, you just watch them play video games.
Wait, wasn't the person that tugged her over to the room green?
Okay, maybe they had me there.
Yeah, maybe they did. Maybe.
I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty solid accusation.
That's a good statement on like how like kids look at things different. Like in reality, the person was just saying that, just giving her, like saying that she's doing something like bad or something like that. But in her mind, it was a judge.
Alright, grown-up, I'll concede to you this time. But one day, I'll be grown-up, and I'll watch all the video games I want.
Don't you mean play them?
No.
What if that actually happened, and like, how can she watch people play video games? Because adults don't really have video games.
Now I've saved the best story for last. Even when I started kindergarten, there was no escaping this daycare, because one of the services they provided was picking up children from my elementary school and taking them back to the daycare where the parents could pick them up later. So every day, I didn't get picked up by a parent or get on a normal yellow school bus. I waited for a big white van.
Oh yeah, I think they have that at my school actually. Highland Ranch Elementary School. Hashtag. Not really.
That sounds rather nefarious now that I say it out loud.
Yeah, that actually sounds nefarious, actually.
But yeah, Rachel and I would wait for the van, pile in with the other kids, and go wait to get picked up at the daycare. And this was a routine my kindergarten teacher knew. She was a very good teacher and kept track of the way
Rascal at the bottom.
each of her students was supposed to go home. So she would make sure I got in that van. Well, I was getting a little bored of the routine. And here's good old kid logic again, because many of my classmates would get to walk home. And for some reason, I decided that was the cool thing to do. I aspired to walk home. But that wasn't going to happen with Miss Responsibility Pants botching my whole operation. So like the little devil I was, I waited until we had a substitute teacher. Alright, here's your evil genius learner's permit, kiddo. When school ended that day, instead of getting into the daycare van, I hid behind a brick pillar and waited for the van to leave without me. Funny how my sister never said anything. She must have been like, alright, I guess she died. As soon as the van left, I headed off on foot. My house was within walking distance, only about a mile away. But I began to think as I walked that no one was actually going to be at the house, and I had no way of getting inside. Probably should have thought of that before. So instead of walking home, I made the executive decision to walk to the daycare instead. Now, I knew what I was doing was against the rules, because every single time I saw a white vehicle of any sort coming in the distance, I would duck behind a tree or bush as fast as I could. When I was so close that I could see the daycare up ahead, I noticed what was most definitely a white van approaching, and the only tree immediately available was thinner than me. So not only was this tree already insufficient at hiding me, but when I jumped behind it, I didn't think to put the tree between me and the line of sight of the van. So when the daycare staff approached, this is what they saw. I'm revoking that evil genius learner permit. They stopped the van, made me get inside, and guess who I found in the back seat? The snitch that ratted me out. My own sister.
How could you? We were brothers, you and I. Wait.
Yeah, wait, what? Okay, guys, that's the end of this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe on this video. And then, if you want to see the original video or just any of Let Me Explain Studios videos, there's a link in the top left corner. Okay. See you in the next video. Bye.